the bells are made out of brass, aluminum, and some other metals, and it takes anywhere from 3 to 9 months to make the bells in the foundry in which they're made in Pennsylvania. When the choir started, there were only 2 octaves that the choir had, and now we have 5 octaves plus 3 additional octaves. And there are also 4 octaves of a different kind of bell called the melody chimes and 2 octaves of silver bells. So let's enjoy our next piece, Joseph Dear, Joseph Mine. So let's talk about these bells for just a moment. Now, remember that there are octaves on a piano, and there are keys on the piano, right? C, D, E, F, A. Can you remember what they all are? I'm not sure I can. But each of these bells is designated by the note that it plays and the octave in which it is found. So the smallest of these is C8, and it weighs about 8 ounces. And we go all the way from C8 to C3, which is the biggest, and C3 weighs about 8 pounds. Okay, so we have muscular folks down in the 8th octave of our group. The C8 costs about $150, and C3 is close to $1,000 for a single bell. Let's move on now to hear It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year. As was very obvious in that last number, there are many different techniques that add color and texture to our pieces. Some of these different techniques are the trill or shake, mostly on the smaller bells. Leonard, could you give us a trill, please? Okay, thank you. There's the martellato, which is the slamming of the bell onto the foam, and there's 4 inches of foam on all of these tables. We like it when they all play. Then there's the thumb dampen, which is exactly what it sounds like. There's the pluck, which is taking the clapper and swinging it down onto the bell. There's the echo touch, or as we call it, wah-wah, and you can ring the bell and touch it lightly on the foam. And you've seen them using their mallets. And the mallets are struck against the bells. Now you probably noticed that Leonard and Sarah did a quick change of place because Leonard really likes to play the higher notes. And he's really good on this particular rendition of Still, Still, Still. our music looks like piano music. Most of the players play 2, 3, or 4 bells, but Sarah and Lisa are extremely talented and can double bell, so they do a few more. And Shelley and Suzanne, the muscles in the team here, and Helen as well, are covering a few more bells. I should note at this time that music for bell choirs is extremely expensive. One copy of sheet music can cost from $5 to $10, and we buy about 14 copies of each piece, so you can do the math. Our next piece, Jingle Bell Rock. The choir uses donations made by the public toward buying music and equipment. We really don't need any more bells, but we do buy music, mallets, and cleaning products. So on your way out of the church, if you would like to make a contribution to the bell choir, there is a basket in the narthex for your donations, or there's also an electronic donation opportunity with the giving kiosk, also in the back of the church. Let me introduce you to these wonderful, wonderfully talented musicians. Do you know we have a total of over 200 years of collective playing experience with this group of folks? We are going to ask each one as I introduce them to let you know how many years they've been playing. So Sarah Akins.
27 years.
And I've known Sarah since she was about 4 or 5 years old, and that was just like 7 or 8 years ago, so do the math. Lisa Rammelt?
25 years.
Bob Rammelt?
You can tell, 9.
Suzanne Haggett?
25 or 30, depending on how senile I feel that day.
And the Fuchs family makes up a large portion of our choir. Leonard, how long have you been playing?
I've been playing about 9 years. How about you?
Okay, about 0. Okay, but enjoying for many, many more than that. Katie?
38.
38. And Michael?
I've been playing for about 4 months.
So, Shelley Bernstein
About 25 plus years.
and Helen Franklin.
I'm guessing around 21.
We are losing to retirement a long-time member of this bell choir, Joanna Pyatt, who will be with us at tomorrow's concert, but she has almost 40 years of experience in this bell choir, and she and her husband, who schleps all of the equipment around when these folks hit the road, they will both be missed. I want to introduce you to Trinity United Methodist Church's pastor, Pastor Bob Klein, who also happens to be the brother of the person for whom this choir is named. And he's going to give you a little background about the choir and his sister's legacy.
Good afternoon. Before I do that, though, I think we probably should introduce the director of the Handbell Choir, Karen Conde. All right, Karen, how many years? 42. Imagine that. Karen invited me to say just a little bit about my sister, for whom the bell choir is named. My sister Cindy was tragically killed in a dune buggy accident in Rocky Point, Mexico over Memorial Day weekend in 1978. We were not members of the church at that point. We were members in Tucson, but my grandparents were members here, and my parents had been members here. So we were trying to decide what an appropriate memorial would be for my sister. And my sister loved music. I'm not sure, given time, that there wouldn't have been any instrument that she could not play. She played the flute, she played the oboe, which I understand is one of the more difficult instruments to play. She picked up a saxophone and played it, and but unfortunately, at 21 years old, she was killed. So we decided to ask folk to donate to a memorial fund, and that's what created the beginning of the bell choir. For many years, many years, all 4 of my grandparents were in attendance at each of these concerts. My parents were here most of those years. I was here for some of them. But I'm the only Klein remaining here. My son is back there showing the PowerPoint, but unfortunately he never got to meet his aunt. And so it's with heavy hearts that we celebrate each year through the bell choir. Your donations, the donations over the last 42 years, is what enabled the choir to expand from 3 octaves to 4 to 5 to the chimes to the silver bells. And your incredible generosity is certainly appreciated. Thank you and Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Bob. Well, our next song is Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. The bell choir practices once a week on Thursdays from 6 to 7:30 p.m., and we play here in Trinity once a month. Most of the players read music, but we have players and have had players over the years whom we've had to teach to read music, but we always need new players. So if you are interested in learning how to play the bells, you know who to see. Our next number, the Holly and the Ivy. So let's get a little audience participation going here. How many of you have experienced a white Christmas before? Raise your hand, please. Oh, goodness, goodness. My parents moved to Yuma in 1966 from the Midwest, and they picked me up from the airport and brought me home to my new home. I was coming home from college, and it was so bizarre for me to see Santa popping out of the sand. I'll never forget that. Well, obviously, next song, White Christmas. It's the most recorded song in history, and it's been recorded in the most languages ever. It was featured or has been featured in 2 movies. Who can tell me the 2 movies? Louder. Okay, Holiday Inn, and the second one? White Christmas. Oh, you are so good. Okay, so let's enjoy White Christmas. Now it's time to field your questions. I've answered possibly some of them, but I bet you've got more. So let me turn this over to Karen. And who would like to ask the first question?
Yes, ma'am. Do the bells get out of tune? No, they do not. We have dropped them. And I have, back when the Morris Hall had cement floors, I watched one go bouncing across once, just about killed me. But no, they do not have to be tuned. We have a lifetime warranty. My lifetime. Yes, way at the back. Go ahead. How many bells do we have total? Okay, I think we've counted them. Does anybody remember? It's something like 12. I believe we have somewhere in the range between 75 and 82 that we use all the time. Cool. Any other questions? We didn't get the big one. Okay, Leonard.
Why do we have to wear gloves?
The question is, why do we have to wear gloves? Because they bite their nails. Yeah. Actually, wearing the gloves is a really important question. The oils from your hands get on the bells, and so we wear them to protect the bells and to protect us, too. We clean the bells every time we practice. We use these little rags that we polish them up with, but the gloves are an important part of what we do. We have tie-dyed gloves that we love to wear, but Pastor Bob doesn't like them. So Thursday, when we were in here practicing, they asked what color gloves. I said, black. Just for you, Pastor Bob. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
What brand of bells are they?
They're called Schulmerich. Do you know the brands of bells? Right, out of England. And another brand that comes out of Pennsylvania is Malmarks. Malmarks are shiny inside, and Schulmerichs, as you can see, are not. Oh, yes, ma'am. Oh, hi. I know you. Yesterday. It's okay, Bob. We usually start practicing. I try to come up with a theme. So yeah, he's not kidding. I will start looking in February or March for music, and usually Lisa always posts a picture about April when we hit our first 100-degree day. We're playing Christmas music. Any other questions? Okay. Yes, sir. In the past, it's been 3 years since we've gone out on the road. On the road again. 2 years ago, I was down for a year with cancer, and Lisa was in charge. So we didn't do any on the roads. Last year we weren't going to do any. I did have a couple calls this year for them, and I said, no, not at this time. We may try next year. Going out on the road is exhausting. It's really exhausting. And if we could get all the RV parks to come in to see us, Pastor Bob would like us to do one of our concerts out at Gila Mountain, so the RV parks could go there and then have one here. We'll see what next year brings. It's like I said, and we're old. Well, except for Michael and Leonard, and as Katie once told me when I think it was the year I turned 40. See, I've been around Katie a long time. The year I turned 30, Katie goes, oh my God, I'll never be as old as you are right now. God bless this choir. I love them to death. One more question, or have we answered all of them? Yes, sir. No. I went to a festival and tried, because I was the one, well, Lisa learned four in hand in Wisconsin, but but Sarah, I taught Sarah how to do two in hand. So I went to this training and I tried to learn six. I could not get it. Can you do it? No, I can't. But,
That's why that's how we can do it, that they don't all go like that.
yeah, I didn't think of that. So, because they only, the one way, that's it, one way. Okay, I think we're done. Is there one more? Was there one more? Okay.
Reached the time for our final number. No, oh, no, our next to the last number. And that is "O Holy Night."
Sorry, that's an inside joke.
our final number, and this time it is the final number, okay? Sing We Now of Christmas. But before the choir plays, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Please know that if you liked it, you can come back again tomorrow at 4 o'clock, because we'll be back tomorrow in the sanctuary at 4 o'clock for a repeat of what you have enjoyed today. Please, at the end of the song, allow the choir to exit to the back so that they can greet you and bid you a Merry Christmas as you leave the building. And we look forward to either seeing you again tomorrow or next year at the 43rd annual concert of the Cindy Klein Memorial Handbell Choir.
Helen has a lot of bells.